Next thing I know, the sucker punches me right in the middle of my face.
A brutal attack on the Metrolink. What the victim has to say and what's being done to catch these criminals.
We face another cold night ahead and the chance for light snow in the morning for some. I'm tracking your weekend forecast.
Why everyone could be protected from tax ID fraud but aren't. News 4 taking a stand against tax cheats.
Live from KMOV, News 4 is covering breaking news.
We are following multiple breaking news stories. Right now, police investigating shootings in both North St. Louis County and South City. But we begin with a double homicide. When officers were called to a home on Itasca, they found a man and woman dead and a third person shot.
Corey Stark is live at the scene where the details are unfolding. Corey?
40 to 50 years old. The woman was in her 20s.
Well, Steve, as you guys said, this is a triple shooting. A man and a woman are dead. A third victim in this was shot in the head. She has been taken to the hospital in critical condition. I want to show you where this all happened inside a home behind me. This is on Itasca, and right now no one is in custody, and police aren't sure the relationship between the shooter and the victims, but did say they received a tip that the shooter could be one of the victim's ex-boyfriends. Police aren't sure at this point how many shooters they are looking for, but this is the second homicide on this block in the last 3 months. Residents are concerned for their own safety.
My wife, she comes home late at night sometimes, and, you know, it's kind of awkward, you know. You never know, especially when you don't know what's going on, you know. I don't know if it's domestic or if it's just home invasion or what.
And still a lot unknown in this investigation, but as you can see, police still here on scene conducting their investigation. Also, police are also telling us that they believe the victims are related. We'll continue to follow this breaking news story, and police are also asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. We're live tonight. Corey Stark, News 4.
As Corey said, it's only March, but it's already been a violent year for people living on this block of Itasca. In January, 2 men were shot, 1 killed. That case came less than a week after another man was shot just a block away during a robbery attempt as he was leaving a bar. All of this happened in the Bevo Mill neighborhood. Steve?
Sharon, we're following more breaking news in North St. Louis County. Police have closed part of Hanley Road because of a shootout that took place near the UMSL campus. Brittany Noble is live at the scene. And Brittany, gunmen were actually firing at each other across lanes of traffic?
Steve, police say a group of guys were parked in a car on Hanley. Then they fired shots at another group walking down the street. Now 2 people are in the hospital. It happened about 2:10 this afternoon in the 4200 block of Hanley. That's near the Metrolink station. Police say there was a group of people walking north on Hanley. Then some men got out of a parked car, opened fire. 2 men were shot. Both of them are in the hospital, and 1 is in serious condition. So what do you think about this being near your neighborhood?
Scary. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, and my son and my daughter. So it's a little frightening. You usually see this more in the city than you do in the county.
Police are still investigating. No word yet on who the suspects could be. Reporting live in Hanley Hills, Brittany Noble-Jones, News 4.
We have more breaking news in South St. Louis. Right now, police are on the scene of a shooting. This took place at Grayson Merrimack, just west of Grand. Homicide detectives have been called in to help with the investigation. Of course, we'll bring you more details as we get them.
A disturbing, unprovoked attack on a Metrolink train, and it's all caught on video. Want to warn you, the video you're about to see is graphic. It is hard to watch. A 43-year-old man on his way home from work, beaten and kicked by 3 attackers. Russell Kinsell, live from the Bommarito Street Fleet, is asking Metro about security on trains. And Russell, you just spoke with the victim.
Yeah, the victim is sore. He's a little spooked. He's taking a break from riding Metrolink for a while. He says next to his physical injuries, what hurts the most is that no one lifted a finger.
Whenever I got punched in the face, my glasses came down and split the skin here between the bridge and the bridge of my nose.
And he may have a broken bone in a hand he held up to protect himself. The victim seen beaten in his cell phone video asked us not to use his name. He says he was on his way home from work when 3 men approached him and 1 asked to use his phone.
And then he asked me my opinion on the Michael Brown thing, And I responded, I was too tired to think about it right now. And he stood up, and next thing I know, he sucker punches me right in the middle of my face.
The victim was punched and kicked before the three suspects got off at the Forest Park stop. Police and Metro investigators have good surveillance pictures of the attackers and are working to identify them.
What does this incident say about the safety of riding Metrolink?
The safety of riding Metrolink is safe.
Metro spokeswoman Diane Williams says they spend $10 million for off-duty officers and security guards, but she says there's been an increase nationwide in random acts of violence on public transportation.
What we're doing in response is talking to St. Louis City, our partner in the city, about how they can increase their patrols and increase their protection of our system.
The man who was beaten says no other riders tried to help.
I think it was disgusting that people were sort of laughing and smiling about it. No one offered to help. No one attempted to call 911.
Coming up all new on News 4 at 5:34, that man who was beaten says he has a message for everyone who rides public transportation. You'll hear that message coming up at 5:34. Live in Maplewood, Russell Kinsall, News 4.
All right, Russell, we'll see you then. News 4 always watching out for your safety. We wanted to know how common Metrolink attacks are. A search of our archives found 3 violent cases in just the past month. March 3rd, we told you about Tommy Moore III. He faces charges for robbing 2 people at gunpoint at Lambert's Metrolink station. Now, the following week, a fight between a Metro security guard and a passenger at 14th Street and Spruce at the Civic Center station. Police say it started after the passenger failed to present a valid ticket to ride the Metro. And less than a week later, we showed you a brawl at the Forest Park, the Bolivar Metrolink station. A person actually tumbled from the platform to the tracks below. Luckily, a train was not coming down the tracks at the time.
News 4 checked. In the last year, St. Louis County Police have taken 28 reports for Metrolink assaults or robberies. We asked St. Louis City for the same information, but the department does not track crime by location and was unable to give us that information. In an undisclosed and secret location, Metrolink dispatchers monitor all platforms 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Multiple cameras are not only on the platforms, but also on buses and trains. Dispatchers are able to slow trains down and stop them if they see anything suspicious. This is the kind of violence that we've been telling you about that News 4 has taking action. Join us to end violence STL. We want to hear from you. How, as a community, we can come together to make St. Louis a safer place. Just go to KMOV.com, scroll down, and click on the End Violence STL tab. There you can submit any ideas you have for solutions, as well as share your opinions and experiences.
A University City man wanted for killing his ex-girlfriend was captured in Arizona. 52-year-old Michael McAfee, charged with the first-degree murder of 43-year-old Keisha Powell. She was found shot to death Tuesday inside an office building on Del Mar. McAfee was found near Tucson yesterday and arrested after a short chase. Tonight, Metro East police are piecing together a drive-by shooting. The victim may have been shot as many as 9 times. Shortly after 7 this morning, Allerton police were called to 38th and Missouri for a shooting. They found the victim several blocks away at the ramp to I-255. The victim says he was driving home from a friend's house when he heard gunshots, then realized he was being shot at. He believes the gunman was in a black SUV, but says he didn't see the shooter.
We've walked the highway to find any shell casings, of which we have found nothing. But we did find that there are a couple cameras down in that area. Right now, the detectives are down there trying to pull that video and see if there's anything for us.
The victim was shot multiple times on his left side. We're told he had surgery today and should survive.
New information in a police-involved shooting in Macoupin County. It was breaking news we brought you last night. Illinois State Police are leading the investigation near the town of Mount Olive. Take a look at the scene. Deputies were called to a home to check on an elderly woman on Route 138. When they arrived, they were confronted by 30-year-old Brett Foster, who was armed. After being ordered to drop the rifle, the sheriff's office says Foster pointed it at deputies. That's when one of the deputies fired. Foster was treated at a hospital. He's now in custody. He's charged with aggravated assault.
New developments tonight in the investigation into the pilot who intentionally crashed that jet into the Alps. The story coming up at 5:30.
PIN numbers given to victims of tax identity theft. So why aren't these numbers given to everyone for safety? News 4 getting answers at 5:15.
Temperatures dip well below freezing early Saturday, and I'm tracking a chance for a little more snow in your forward forecast.
The massive hack of Anthem Healthcare is now bringing a massive lawsuit here in St. Louis. We're going to tell you more about it next on News 4 at 5.
You're watching News 4, watching out for you.
No one in St. Louis covers traffic the way that News 4 this morning covers traffic. We have Alyssa Reitmeyer, who leads up our team.
Let's check in with Roger Brand. He is live in Sky 4 this morning.
She's a hometown girl.
We don't have any crashes on any major roadways.
She actually knows how to get across 6440 and how to get from Missouri to Illinois.
So Granite City, Pontoon Beach, if you hop up onto 270 westbound, you're in good shape.
And they like the way that she interacts with Mark Griffin in Sky Zoom 4 and Captain Roger Brand in Sky 4. A great addition to News 4 this morning.
Lou is huge savings on Chrysler's Jeeps, Dodges, and Rams. Lou is St. Louis. Lou Fuse, we are St. Louis. During Ram Truck Month, get Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs with 0% financing for 84 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash for up to $11,500 in total savings. Plus, you get the Fuse Family Pledge, including more for trades, engines forever, and auto awards. Only at Lou Fuse, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Lou Fuse, we are St. Louis.
At Weekends Only, you just pay for stylish furniture, not fancy showrooms, so you can get incredible savings like these.
Outdoor furniture has arrived. Save big on new arrivals of patio sectionals and cast aluminum fire pit chat sets. 5-piece dining sets, $187. Patio umbrellas, just $38.
Get here early because quantities are limited.
Ashley sofas, sectionals, power recliners, bedroom, and dining up to half the price. Plus hundreds of other great new arrivals and store-wide savings for your entire home.
Plus, get 0 down, 0 interest financing for 2 full years at Weekends Only.
It's Mizzou Madness at Papa John's. Get 2 large, 2-topping pizzas for only $7.77 each by using promo code Mizzou online at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
It's March Markdown Madness at Plaza Motors, and that means you'll get luxury for less all month long. Like right now, get a 2014 Lexus ES350 for just $29,995. Only during the March Markdown Madness at Plaza Motors, the luxury car center of the universe.
Buy during the Kettle River Furniture and Bedding Spring Showcase and Sale, and you'll get the furniture you love at prices, well, you'll really love. Lazy Boy recliners start at $269. Serta Perfect Sleeper Queen sets start at $399. Solid Wood 5-piece dining, $699. Flex Steel sofas, $799. Roy Hill sectionals, $12.99. Ready to buy? Get ready to save at the Spring Showcase and Sale. Kettle River Furniture and Bedding, Edwardsville.
We've been thinking. A pitcher who can paint the corners is known as a Rembrandt. Who doesn't love that kind of precision? At GMC, we get that. Not everyone can deliver a 95-mile-an-hour Rembrandt. This is precision. This is GMC. This month, get over $8,000 total value on this specially equipped 2015 Sierra SLT. Welcome to the show.
I want to update you on breaking news we brought you earlier in South St. Louis. Police on the scene of a shooting. This happening at Grace and Merrimack, just west of Grand. Homicide detectives have been called in, and as you can see, they seem to be focusing their efforts. Investigators are in an alleyway. There's crime scene tape up and a couple of police cars parked in an alleyway. That seems to be the focus. Again, this is in South St. Louis at Grace and Merrimack. We continue to follow this situation, and we'll bring you updates as we get them. A class action lawsuit has been filed here in St. Louis against Blue Cross, Anthem Blue Cross, and Blue Shield.
Now, News 4 told you when the country's second largest health insurer fell victim to hackers, personal information, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses of 80 million people compromised. Many of you told us you have Anthem health care, and when you went to file your taxes, it was already too late. A fraudster beat you to it. News 4 asked the head of the IRS about your concerns.
Have you guys tied any of the fraud back to the Anthem healthcare breach?
At this point, again, can't tell you a lot of details about it there, but it's probably too early to know.
Law firms McShane, Brady, along with Williams, Dirks, and Dameron, both of Kansas City, filed the class action suit. News 4 is taking a stand against these tax cheats. We've learned a 6-digit code could be the only protection you have to safeguard your identity and tax return. But we wanted to know why the PIN number system is not already set up to keep all Americans' private information safe. We went straight to the IRS.
No, we haven't filed yet. That's what makes this really strange.
because they said that, there's been a tax return filed.
David Simons got hit with what many in our area are seeing, someone else filing a false tax return in their name. So what do you do to protect yourself for future filings?
I've had some people tell me that they have PIN numbers now.
That's right. It's an identity protection personal information number. But who gets them? We took those questions straight to the head of the IRS in Washington.
Wherever we selected a return and stopped it that was in their name or with their identifiers, we're now offering all of those people IP pins. Plus, we'll do about 1.5 million IP pins for people who have had taxpayer identification theft over the last 4 or 5 years.
We have heard from viewers confused about when they get their PIN.
You get a new IP pin every year. It comes without charge. The 1,700,000 people we're offering those IP pins to, we're offering to them for free.
But hold on to that 6-digit number, because without it, scammers can't file your taxes, but neither can you. Right now, it is proving to be an effective way to fight fraud.
We have a pilot program. We're pushing harder this year to see what happens if people in Florida, Georgia, and the District of Columbia, without any indication of refund fraud, get an IP pin.
That's great for down south, but what about the rest of the country trying to protect themselves before their refund is filed, not after?
I've asked for it to be expanded beyond just those who have been hit with an IRS fraudulent claim. It should be anyone who's been a victim of identity theft.
Congresswoman Ann Wagner of Missouri is seeing the rise in ID theft in our area, now ranked 3rd in the country for ID theft.
I sent a letter last week asking them for identity protection PIN numbers. It's called an IP PIN number for anyone that has been a victim of identity abuse, fraud.
But so far, no response to that letter. But accountants we spoke to say expanding the IP PIN program can be an effective way to fight future fraud before it starts.
I think that'd be a great idea. I think a lot of people that I talk to are asking, at some point we may have to go, everybody might have to have a PIN. But certainly that's a very good idea.
And CPA Eddie Quigg should know his ID was stolen in the past.
We had to paper file the return, wait about 6 months, and they gave us a PIN. And so following years, we filed the PIN. We haven't had a problem since.
But there are complaints of delays when it comes to getting that IP PIN.
That's an aspect of it that's unpredictable, depending on which process you go through.
But if you did not receive a new one, you can retrieve it on irs.gov after verifying your identity. But remember, while some are calling for more protection with PINs,
this will add an additional layer of protection on their tax return.
But you can't go back to the old way of doing your taxes once you get a 6-digit code designated just for you.
Once you opt into it, you have to continue using that PIN that we assign you.
Now, there's a link on KMOV.com to apply for an IP PIN number if you currently qualify for one. Steve?
Sharon, today practice paid off for a group of Metro East 4th graders. Dressed in red and blue, these students from St. Teresa School in Belleville paid tribute to the red, white, and blue. Earlier this month, we showed you as they practiced in News 4 schools. Well, today they sang the Star-Spangled Banner at a naturalization ceremony at the federal courthouse in downtown St. Louis.
The Forewarned Storm Team, certified St. Louis's most accurate forecast for 4 years in a row. Now, here's meteorologist Megan Danahay.
Almost afraid to ask how much colder it's going to get, and then the weekend.
I know. I wish I could say I was going to give you somebody else's forecast, but we are going to see cooler than normal temperatures. And I don't have to tell you it's been running a little on the cold side around here today. This morning we actually dropped down to 33 degrees, and our high today only made it to 44. I want to show you our Motion Orthopedics I-270 camera. We can see the sun. You can see shadows of the cars driving there on 270. Temperature right now is 44. It's the warmest we've been all day. However, we still have a wind chill at 37. Those winds have had a bite out of the northwest this afternoon, and they'll continue into the evening. It's 41 currently in Alton. We currently have 42 in Baldwin. A little colder in Potosi. It's 38 there. 38 Flora. 37 in Litchfield. As we move through this evening, expect to see those partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will fall back down into the mid-30s. Now, the radar is clear. SkyTracker Doppler showing quiet, while we did have some snow flurries, some sprinkles, and even some snow showers earlier this morning. We're probably going to see a repeat of that tomorrow morning. Here's what we're watching upstream. You can see the rain north of Kansas City toward Omaha, up toward Sioux City. That is dropping down to the south and east. And as we move through the overnight into the first part of Saturday, that disturbance is going to slide across central Missouri. And we'll expect to see a little bit of snowfall, maybe sticking around on the ground across the central part of the state. Columbia, in the St. Louis area, like we saw this morning, we'll probably see flurries to very light snowfall in the morning. Let's time it out for you with Super Predictor. This is as we go through the evening, and you can see how that rain changes over to a little bit of snow. Temperatures are really going to nosedive tonight. It's going to be colder in the morning than it was this morning. Our low was down around freezing this morning. Tomorrow we dip into the upper 20s. So at 7 o'clock, look for a temperature of 28. We'll see some light to moderate snow falling in central Missouri, and some of that will extend eastward like it did this morning. So we'll see some snow showers, some flurries as far east as St. Louis. That will continue as we head through the morning on Saturday and then taper off toward lunchtime. Temperatures up around 39 degrees, partly sunny and chilly. There in the central part of Missouri, maybe as far east as Rolla over to Sullivan, Iron, Reynolds County will pick up maybe a dusting, but I don't think this will be too big of a deal. As we move into the afternoon, we'll even see some of that sunshine, and the temperatures will climb up to around 44 degrees. I think the high tomorrow is around 46, so a couple degrees warmer than it was today. Still a pretty cool day, chilly and dry for your Saturday evening plans. And then on Sunday, we'll see a chance of a little rain shower activity, mainly between 11 a.m. and, say, 4 p.m. Just a few light showers impacting the area, so we'll probably see more clouds than sun on Sunday, but it will be warmer. Temperatures will climb up to 57 degrees and a little bit better for you in the morning, with a morning low around 33. Temperatures continue to climb as we go into next week. Monday, we'll see high temperatures up around 66 and a good amount of sunshine. On Tuesday, a gorgeous day, plenty of sunshine, a high temperature around 70 degrees. Wednesday, we're up to 74. We see a chance of rain late in the day on Wednesday and a chance of rain and spring thunderstorms on Thursday.
Two St. Charles County communities say no to having their ticket revenue capped by the state of Missouri. Why they say that's a bad idea, coming up at 5:30. But first, Steve Harris has a story about a behind-the-scenes hero who's making a big difference at Shriners Hospital. He'll bring you her story next on News 4 at 5.
Forewarn Weather is brought to you by Club Fitness. It's almost shorts and t-shirt weather. Still have some winter weight to lose? Join the club. Just $10 a month to month. No long-term membership.
At Sunbelt Bakery, we believe granola bars should taste fresh. It's why we don't use preservatives, ever. And it's why we bring them from our bakery to your neighborhood every week. So our granola tastes like we just baked it. Because we did. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. And no preservatives.
When you set out to find new roads, you obsess over perfection. Evolve, function. Elevate, form. And build the Chevrolet Malibu, ranked highest in initial quality and long-term dependability by J.D. Power. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company over the last year.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on this 2014 Chevy Cruze. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer.
Meet Mike Fincham, colorectal cancer patient. Mike chose to be treated at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where he could get a combination of innovative treatment and therapy options, all at one address. Options designed to both fight his cancer and boost his energy. A plan customized just for him. This is integrative cancer care. This is Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
The milk from other supermarkets is fresh, wholesome, and expensive. The milk from Aldi is also fresh and wholesome, but it costs a lot less. And when you consider that our milk comes from the same place as theirs does, paying more for it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Not even to her. At Aldi, the same is always better when it costs less. And that's the truth. Aldi, simply smarter shopping.
Lou is huge savings on Mazdas. Lou is St. Louis.
Lou Fuse, we are St. Louis.
Right now, get a 2015 Mazda 3i Sport, just $15,770. Or save over $4,400 on Mazda 6i Sports, starting at $19,499. Plus, you get the Fuse Family Pledge, including more for trades, engines forever, and auto awards. Only at Lou Fuse Mazda.
Lou Fuse, we are St. Louis.
Just in time for spring. Get 50% off 50 brands of designer frames during the Clarkson Eye Care 50/50 frame event. Use your vision insurance to purchase your lenses. Then save 50% on frames, including the newest collection from Diane von Furstenberg. Great styles for women, men, kids too. And Clarkson offers complete eye exams with doctors on staff in every office. Schedule your exam at ClarksonEyeCare.com. Then save big during the 50/50 frame event at Clarkson Eye Care. Simply better eye care.
We have more breaking news from North St. Louis County now. Right now, police investigating a bank robbery. This happening within the last hour at the Commerce Bank branch on St. Charles Rock Road in Breckenridge Hills. See a police car outside. Investigation is underway right now. We are working to confirm whether or not the suspect in this robbery has been caught. We'll continue to follow this story and update you as we get more information.
Tonight, we are honoring a woman who Shriners Hospital officials say is a behind-the-scenes hero.
She's been volunteering at the hospital for years, offering assistance in a lot of ways. Steve Harris shows us how she's bettering the lives of the patients who Shriners helps.
This is Suzanne Shepard. Her hobbies are
needlepoint, play with grandchildren.
As needlepoint goes, Suzanne is very good. She made this belt with all of her favorite places on it. The Arch, the White House, a favorite golf course, and here at the end, the Shriners.
Of course, my favorite places. That's what they are.
That's why she spends a lot of her free time at the Shriners Hospital for Children.
It's my happy place to come.
She's a volunteer, has been for 48 years.
I started volunteering in college, and when I got married, my husband is a Shriner. And he said, Shriners Hospital would probably love to have you.
From changing diapers to the x-ray department, she gave of her time. But that's not all she gave. Here, on a plaque, on the wall, in the bottom right corner, you'll find the names of her and her husband.
We financially contribute to the wonderful things they do at the hospital.
You could call Suzanne one of the behind-the-scenes heroes that makes all this happen. And her reward? Well, she sums it up with a story.
And one child, for instance, came in the wheelchair, and the last I knew, she was hugging me as she's walking, and the tears just run down your face with joy. It's just a wonderful thing.
Steve Harris, News 4.
If you'd like to know more about the Shriners, watch KMOV on March 31st for KMOV Cares Heroes for Kids. You can find out more about how to donate and what treatments they offer young patients. You're watching a special edition of News 4 from 5 to 6 o'clock.
You can catch the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley on 4.3 and Charter Digital Channel 181. It starts at 5:30. We'll continue with News 4 at 5:30 here in just 2 minutes. First, a live look outside from our St. Paul GM Country Eye on St. Louis camera. With the cooler temperatures, will they ruin your weekend plan? The Forewarned Storm Team tracking a chilly night ahead.
Dangerous weather equals News 4 storm mode coverage.